This is Emery Grammar.
Perfect tenses. Welcome to perfect tenses. Let's go back to our catalog. So, remember, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Today, we're going to be talking about number 3. That's perfect tenses. In perfect tenses, we have present, past, and future. Now, we'll talk about them all separately, but first I will tell you how to build perfect tenses all together. So remember, we have 1, 2, 3. And to change the tense, we only change number 2. So what do we use for number 2 in perfect tenses? Well, remember we have the action line and the information line. On the action line, we have regular and irregular verbs. For a regular verb, all you have to do is add ed. Think talk, talked. Walk, walked. All you do is you add ed, and then it's ready to be used in perfect tense. In perfect, for an irregular verb, you need to remember the 3 forms. And for perfect, you're using the 3rd form. So, read, read, read. So read is the 3rd form. Or drink, drank, drunk. Drunk is the 3rd form. So that's what you're going to use in a perfect tense. What about the information line? Well, remember, the information line verb is always to be, and to be is an irregular verb. It has 3 forms: to be, was, were, and been. So been is the 3rd form. So any sentence on the information line in a perfect tense will use been. You have your verbs, the regular plus ed, the irregular 3rd form, those are on the action line, or the information line, been. So your perfect is ready. What we still need is an indicator, a way to tell if it's present, past, or future. We use have and has in present perfect, had in past perfect, and will have in future perfect. So you put that in front of your verb, and there you go. So now you know how to construct a sentence in perfect tenses. Let's use an example. So, I go to the store. That's present simple. Let's change it into present perfect. I have gone to the store. Why gone? Because it's the 3rd form of to go. It's an irregular verb. You use gone. I have gone to the store. If that was past tense, I would say I had gone to the store. If it was future, I would say I will have gone to the store. So you see, it's always the 3rd form. We just changed the helper verb to have in order to tell what tense we are in. Now let's talk about when to use each of the perfect tenses. Watch out, the logic is different for all of them. So if you remember when we were talking about simple tenses and continuous tenses, the logic always made sense. We were either talking about every day, yesterday, or tomorrow. And it followed that pattern. But perfect tenses, it gets a little bit different. When we are speaking in present perfect, we are talking about the result or the effect of an action that has already happened. Not the action itself, but the effect or result of that action which took place in the past. But the result is in the present, which is why we speak about it in present perfect. We don't actually care about the action because it happened at some point in the past, some indefinite point in the past. But we do care about the result of the action which we are facing right now. Here's a situation. Let's say that you agreed with your roommate that they would do the dishes, and you're sitting on the couch and it's pretty quiet. You don't think they're doing the dishes. So you want to check with them. But if you ask, did you do the dishes? Well, they could say yes and be talking about a different point yesterday. It happened a long time ago. Yes, I did the dishes 3 weeks ago. Well, that's not what you're asking. You don't care about that. And if you ask, were you doing the dishes? Well, again, they could lie and say, yes, I was 3 weeks ago. You know, they're exaggerating. They're using your tense against you. So you have to ask them in perfect present. You want to ask them, have you done the dishes? And when they don't answer, well, then you know that they haven't done the dishes today, and you need to go talk to them because they agreed to do the dishes, and you don't want to fight. So here's another situation. Let's say that you are running into your office and you are very late for an important meeting. And yesterday you asked your receptionist to print off some documents for this meeting, right? And so as you're running in, you shoot a quick question to her and you ask, have you printed the documents? And she goes, well, I was doing it. And you're like, but I don't care about you doing it. I don't want your story. Have you printed the documents? Because I need them. And she goes, well, the printer was broken. And so and it's like, I don't care. Have you printed the documents? I don't care about you doing it. I care about whether you have or haven't done it. And she goes, well, I'm doing it now. Well, then you haven't done it, have you? I need to know if you have or haven't done it. You haven't done it. And it's just again. So as you can see, we use present perfect to talk about the result of an action or the lack of result of an action. We're asking about the result, not the action that took place at some point in the past, but the result. And that's when we use present perfect. Now let's talk about past perfect. Honestly, at this level of English, you don't really need to worry about past perfect, but I'm going to explain it to you anyway. Why? Well, because when we're talking about past perfect, we only really use it in context. If there are multiple 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, if we have a situation like that, and we need to talk about two different pasts, two different yesterdays, that's when we will use past perfect. Like if I'm telling you a story and I'm telling you about when I went to London, and then I need to tell you about something that happened before that, then I will start to use past perfect so that you understand that it happened before the other past where I went to London. And that's when you use past perfect. So you use past perfect to navigate your listener or your reader in different levels of past. You're helping them figure out where in the past you are when you're talking about different pasts. And that's when you use past perfect. Let me give you an example. Jim came to the office and he sat on his chair. And then Jim remembered that he had forgotten to drop his daughter off at school. She was still there. So, as you can see, most of those sentences were past simple. It was just when we started talking about how he had forgotten before the other things that had happened that we started talking in, that's right, past perfect. We are talking about a story that moves from one point in the past to another point in the past. It's just when we take a step out to a different point in the past that we move into past perfect. When we're speaking in a story in past perfect, if we are starting at one point in the past and moving forward through the past to the end of the story, then we stay in past simple because the things are happening one after another, even though they're happening in the past. It's just when we need to take a step out and go before the beginning past, that's when we start to talk in past perfect. Past perfect. So you understand that we need a gap between two timelines in order to use past perfect. It's not just when we're telling a story and something happened before everything else. Sometimes people who are new to English grammar get a little bit confused about that. They think, I came home, I cooked spaghetti, and they go, well, I came home before I cooked spaghetti. That must be past perfect. No, that's not right, because it happened on the same timeline. If you say, I came home, I cooked spaghetti, I remembered I had forgotten my bag at work. Well, the forgetting of the bag happened way before you came home. So that is when we use past perfect. It's on a different timeline. Now let's talk about future perfect and how we use it to talk about a result in the future. So to do this, I'm going to tell you about the story of Cinderella. So when Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters are going to the ball and they've spilled dust all over the fireplace, well, they're telling Cinderella that by the time we get back, we're specifying a time. By the time we get back, you will have made some progress. You will have cleaned all of this up. They don't care about the cleaning. They care that she will have done it by the time that they get back. Or when Cinderella goes outside and the fairy godmother transforms her into her beautiful ball gown, the fairy godmother does warn her that by the time that it is midnight, that's by the time, we're specifying the time, she will have turned back into her normal self. The pumpkin will have turned back into a pumpkin. It won't be a carriage anymore. She's saying that by the time that midnight comes, it will have happened that everything transforms back. We're talking about the results, not the action of transforming, but it's something that's going to happen by a specific time in the future. That's why we use future perfect. We use future perfect when we are talking about the result. We want to know about a specific result that will happen by a specific time in the future. That's when we use future perfect. One more example that isn't a fairy tale. Let's say that you meet your friend and you are asking about the house that he has been building for a long time. And you ask, will you have finished building your house by spring? And he thinks, will I have finished building my house by spring? No, I don't think I will have finished building my house by spring. And you're like, wow, this is taking a long time. Will you have finished building your house by summer at least? And he goes, no, I really don't think I will have finished building the house by summer. We're specifying the time. Will you have finished building your house by Christmas? And he goes, yes, I will have finished building the house by Christmas because we really need it this winter. So we have to have finished it by Christmas. So you see, your friend is talking about the result of his action. He will have finished building the house by Christmas. Now let's go back to our catalog. As you can see, we've done 3 of the groups of tenses. So that's 9 tenses that we can shift our 1, 2, 3 through. To be more specific, that's 9 tenses for our action line verbs. It's only 6 tenses for our information line verbs, because remember, continuous tenses, we don't use the information line. So let's use an example and take it through all of the different tenses. Let's do it with a regular verb. Okay, let's use to study. I study English. I studied English. I will study English. I am studying English. I was studying English. I will be studying English. I have studied English. I had studied English. I will have studied English. Let's do the same with an irregular verb. Let's use to write. I write a book. I wrote a book. I will write a book. I am writing a book. I was writing a book. I will be writing a book. I have written a book. I had written a book. I will have written a book. Now let's do the information line. Okay, let's say I am happy. I am happy. I was happy. I will be happy. Now remember, there's no information line on the continuous tenses. So let's skip them. I have been happy. I had been happy. I will have been happy. See? Congratulations! Now you know how to use perfect tenses. Isn't that exciting? I know it might seem like a lot, but we will help you to use them and understand them better in practice. But for now, you did it. Well done!
This is Emery Grammar.
Perfect tenses.